first sector as we ride on board with young Jan Mardenborough, the superstar that he is. He's coming through Tete Rouge now, and you see him coming on to onto the Mulsanne straight, taking plenty of curb there on the way in and the way out. So the little Nismo GTR cam shooting its way along the pit lane, suspended from a cable right the way across. Looking into those booths where there'll be plenty of people, somebody in there waving at it.
Now, just to interrupt you a moment, just look at this GT Pro again. Oliver Gavin, just 1.4 seconds ahead of Stefan Mucker, and Jimmy Bruni is just 4.5 seconds further back in third place. It is just amazing, that battle going on. And they are just under 90 seconds ahead of Fred Makovici.
Absolutely, it rages on, doesn't it? And I think that's a battle that's just going to run and run. How do you split those guys? The Porsches never seem to be able to close that gap, really. And it will come to them with the fuel and less pit stops, but it's going to be a few hours before we see those guys back with the cars that are having to make extra stops, even running at the same pace, which they are now.
And looking at GT and Pedro Lamy ahead of Nicky Thiem, both of them Aston bound, with 1 minute and 44 seconds between the two of them, and it comes down on that lap by 0.3 of a second. No, 3 seconds rather.
3 seconds, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that indicates Lena saying on this new tyre they've gone to a medium or a soft. Strategy, Audi's way, they're the strategists. We had a conversation earlier to say, you know, let's set the car up for the end of the race. I think Bob got that absolutely right. As we see, yeah, not quicker this time round.
How's that happened? Because Fassler is actually now in the lead from Wurz. I guess that's after Wurz's recent stop, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And
so we're expecting, all three of the leaders have done 10 stops. Webber only 9, Gianni only 9. So the Porsches actually fewer stops.
Ollie Pla goes quicker again on his run through. Yeah, that's interesting to see that Fassler is now pressing on and
having got into the lead
with, by the sounds of it, a medium compound tyre.
And last time around, 3.2 seconds quicker, Fassler, than Wurz, although he'll be the lighter car.
Just looking through to try and see what's happened there.
Now they've corrected it. Wurz is back up ahead.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd missed that. There was something going on there.
Yeah.
On the timing screens.
Yeah.
I think if I'd missed that, you should have sent me home now. So Fassler 2 seconds faster that time around, as we heard Lena saying, but I do think that's a result of the tyres. Whatever change Lena's made on that Audi. Rebellion also performed a radio change in that last stop, so it wasn't in the fuel tank. Something mounted just in front of the fuel tank. And yeah, Yanni fastest sector of the race on his not his out lap, but the lap after. 32.9 in that first sector.
Yeah, 3:26 from Neil Gianni. Little conference taking place there.
That's the GTE garage. That's the big boss from the GTE project, stood straight through, just walking to the back of the garage. So they're obviously trying to work out how they're going to gain this time back.
Yeah, they've got a certain task in hand there. Look at the gap between Mucker and Gavin was about half a second last time, but this battle is still going on.
It's just going to rage on all night.
Yeah.
I want the stint that we're about to hand over to, because I think it's actually going to be very good in terms of the GTE battle. Ollie Turvey now going fastest first sector of that car in the Jota Zytek MP2.
Mardenborough sets the fastest time he's done at 3 minutes 39.4 in LMP2.
But Ollie Pla, fastest lap of the race so far for the LMP2 class.
Fractionally quicker.
It's just going to ebb and flow. GTE, P2. Yeah, in a way, those battles actually, yeah, they're closer than what we're seeing at the front of the race. In truth, at the moment, we'll see how that goes. Certainly, the P2 class for the past few years been massively competitive. That used to just be the race of attrition. Whoever finished got a podium, but not the way anymore. These serious manufacturers, chassis manufacturers, come into it and really develop some strong packages. And you know, Ligier, Alpine, Orica, Morgan, Zytec, they're all up there. And I think that Zytec will be coming back through. Ollie Turvey trying very hard.
Yeah, Oliver Turvey in the Zytec number 38, the Jota car.
Car 14, the Porsche.
Gianni.
We said he was pushing on a bit.
Oh, breaking himself at Tarnage.
Interesting. Same thing again.
Yeah, well, yes, could be the same corner.
It is the same corner, I think. Clearly an issue there with the harvesting or brake bias and something that's just not quite there. 14, he comes through now, past us. 75 is going to be brought in to get its headlights repaired.
Can't have one headlight.
And that is the Pro Speed competition. Those guys just, oh, yeah. They've had a rough weekend. So, who's that talking to the engineer from the 7? That's Stefan Sarrazin.
Just hearing from Jerome Bleekemolen that one of his, he was they're absolutely right, straight off.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And he chose to plant it through the gravel, which I think I'd have done what the other guys did, because that gravel can do so much damage, rattling around inside other things, but he chose to go through the gravel track.
Just going back to Jerome Bleekemolen, talking about how his the latest, the second of his punctures was they found some a shard of carbon fibre, just absolutely proving what you have said about the dangers of carbon fibre on the circuit.
Yeah, I think that that was absolutely the right move by the organisers to use that safety car opportunity, which you know, they could have cleared that quite quickly, that incident, under a local yellow. But they chose to do it properly, have a clean up of the circuit, and at the end of the day, we've got to look after all the drivers' safety. Booker is past Gavin.
Yellow flag just back there, but it's not actually showing up on our monitor here. I think it was yellow. It looked like a yellow flag. You can't really confuse it.
I made that mistake yesterday, didn't I, with the blue and the. I think the headlights shine through these very thin flags, and you get funny colours, because these keep looking like blue boards to me on the left-hand side into the braking zones, and they're definitely not blue when you go out into the wilderness. So the car now running up towards Indianapolis. This iconic section of the track where Mike Rockenfeller had such a massive accident 2 years ago. Over on the right-hand side there, going through the barrier where you see that new catch fencing. That's an addition because of what happened. He clipped another car.
Well, we've got a yellow at MP60, which is Marshall Post 60, which is the second chicane, yeah. But we don't have any indication what that is at this stage. Riding on board here with number 14, this is Neil Gianni. And it's car 26 that's stopped down there. That's bad news, because that's Olivier Pla in the Morgan. 11th place, and he's we've also got car 62, which spends most of its life going slowly, as far as I can see. That's perhaps very unfair. Now
replay of Neil Gianni going straight on.
Neil Gianni again. Yeah,
I hope it's a replay and it's not a repeat of it.
Yeah.
You'd think that those guys would have been getting the message by now that they should just brake about 10 yards earlier. Lena Gade there on the early pit wall.
And it's Howard Blank who's slow after MP63.
Lena, having won this race and won a World Championship with those guys, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, fantastic, isn't it?
Very young to be here doing what she's doing, and you know, new generation of engineer coming through, and yeah, she's absolutely right. They that last lap wasn't actually
pretty slow one actually,
but faster in all sectors generally. Seeing a yellow flag there, the one that's displayed on the screen, car 62, slow after 76 now. Mardenborough goes green again in the first sector. When's that boy going to give up? He just goes quicker and quicker and quicker in that car. Yeah.
Webber, incidentally, in the pits now. Mark Webber from 4th place. He's got a margin of 4 laps over Neil Jani, his teammate, so it's not in any danger. And he's just about a lap behind the 2 Audis ahead. There is Mark Webber.
So Mark staying in. This will be his last stint, I think. I don't think the Porsche guys are going to try and do quadruples. Getting that screen good and clean for him. Lots of fuel going in. You see there, just behind, just gone out of shot, the flow meter hatch on the opposite side to the refueling valve.
And he goes back into the race. No driver change there. So this is his 3rd or 4th stint for Mark Webber. And he comes out of the pits in number 20 and rejoins, still in 4th place. Here we are riding on board with the Australian driver.
So he's straight back on it, heading down through the Old Forest S's. Scene of Alan McNish's accident there to the left a couple of years ago. Tom Christensen's there, waiting to get into the number 1.
Which is in 3rd place at the moment, driven by Mark Genet.
That's standard. That's a standard triple from Mark. I think Tom will go in there and do a quadruple, something tells me. Plugged in so that he can hear everything that's going on, despite the fact he's already got his radio on. I think he's disappearing off for a comfort break. Seeing some of the things that are being said on Twitter, people talking about less lighting around the circuit this year. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think it's always been this dark. I think it just, well, always had that lighting over on the left there. And yeah, no, I don't think that's the case. But lots of people talking about that, and the fact we've got lots of onboards, which I very much enjoy these onboards. So the 91 car, GTE car of, well, that car has disappeared off our first page. Now, you can see that those guys were preparing, had a full set of brakes ready. Interesting the way those guys choose to do that.
So 91, there it is.
Delay in the pits, so that's in for new brakes. They're having 4 new calipers, discs and pads. Rather than just changing the pads, they changed the whole shebang. So they've got a little dry brake coupling on the body shell. Disconnect that, everything's already bled up, ready to go. Connect that back in and put the whole lot on. But that's very early in the race to be doing that. Based on this, they'd need to do it twice.
I know, yeah, they're going to have to do it twice.
Yeah, I would wait for a yellow. I would be waiting for a safety car and pushing it as far as I can. I've been there in the brick car 24-hour praying for a yellow, and I remember the driver coming on to me and saying, yeah, it's definitely steel to steel now. There'll be a yellow, and of course, about 2 laps later there was, and we got to do the whole service under yellow, and didn't even lose a lap. So it can be done, but I'm surprised the guys at Porsche aren't playing that same game of just sitting and waiting, because I can't believe that they already need pads and discs. The one car now going through that first chicane.
So Wurz, Fassler, Genet, Webber, Jani, Heidfeld, and Mardenborough still in the lead of LMP2 from fellow Ligier drivers Tristan, or fellow Ligier driver Tristan Gomendi. Oh, 3 minute stop and go penalty for number 77 for spinning his wheels in the pit lane.
So Ollie Pla in the 26 Morgan is definitely stopped out on circuit. We don't know where he is.
I think it was second chicane, wasn't it? 77, yes. Let me tell you, was Pat Long, who is a Porsche Works driver.
Well, what I'm reading here, unidentified prototype facing the wrong way on the second chicane. So that would suggest that Ollie Pla, on his big push, has actually made a mistake, which is most unlike Ollie.
Yeah.
And not getting that car back out in a hurry.
Well, 3 minute stop and go penalty for spinning wheels in the pit lane. If that was applied to Formula One, they'd all be sitting there for 3 minutes, wouldn't they?
And that's gutting for those guys in the 77, to be honest, because they're having such a strong run. That's the Pat Dempsey car, of course, and yeah, I can't really see the sense in that. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen it written anywhere that you can't spin the wheels in the pit lane.
No, fifth in class they are at the moment.
But there we go. That's a lap gone. I've just thrown away as such. So the 26 being out or stuck out on track. That's a big story, because for me that was the favourite in the LMP2 class. We still don't know what the reliability of these Ligiers is going to be like. There's every chance that they're going to be finding new problems with those cars. I know the guys have done some 24-hour tests at Magny-Cours and simulated a lot of that running, and that car, you know, fantastically well developed by those guys, as Mardenborough sets yet another fastest sector in that first. He is just absolutely on fire tonight.
And that last lap was 1.7 seconds slower than Nick Heidfeld, ex-Grand Prix driver in the Rebellion.
Yeah, that boy.
Genet coming in. Marc Genet coming in the number 1 third-placed Audi.
I think we're going to see Jan Mardenborough in a Formula One car before too long. He is just such a talent. Everything he does, everything he jumps into, it's just... The guys at Red Bull, they can't ignore that talent for, well, they're not ignoring it, he's part of that. So the Audi full service, I think we're probably expecting.
And Tom Christensen getting in by the looks of things.
Wheels about to come off. Thomas famous saying, Audi drive, no, back into the garage.
No. Not required.
Calling a bluff. Genet back out. Obviously comfortable in the car. Just wanted to get the job done.
Yeah.
So that will be a quadruple on those tyres. If I was the guys at Toyota, I'd be getting worried now. If Fassler can do the same, they're going to start pulling lumps of time back. That's going to be 30 seconds every 4 stints that they've got to make up on circuit. And right now, they're just not doing that. They're matching them time for time, so unless Genet's tyres really go away from him, then it's the right way. Quadruple stint those tyres.
So Wurz, Fassler, Genet, Webber, Jani, Heidfeld.
Ollie Turvey pressing on in the Jota Zytek P2 car. Fastest sector of all in the second. And we're seeing the one car go straight on. There's me saying about Marc Genet and the condition of those tyres. Little mistake from him, but didn't cost him anything. We're just trying to work out where that 26 car's gone. It's be good to find out before we take our next pit stop in about 10 minutes' time. Nothing here about it. We can't. No, just complete radio silence on where that 26 car's gone.
Well, it's still signalled as stopped out on the circuit, so it's not moving. It's dropping down the order, sad to say.
As we hear, the Murphy car has had to be retired, so really sad for those guys. Fantastic team. Greg Murphy and his men, they are the reason that Brendan Hartley is in that factory Porsche. He did such a fantastic job for those guys here 2 years ago. And some sleeping mechanics. I don't blame them. That looks like the Motorsport garage to me.
Well, in fact, we're about to triple stint our or double stint our partners in the commentating team shortly. So
we're seeing the 91 car there. Those guys looks to me like they might be down inside the fuel tank. I'm trying to think what else there could be down there. They're either down behind it or inside it. That car's had brakes. 13 minutes now in the pit lane.
Just having that confirmed about the fuel cell in the 91 car.
Try and see what they're doing, see what's coming out of it.
And also coming into the pits is the number 51 Ferrari. That's third in class with Gianmaria Bruni in the car.
Yeah, you can see there a lot of the baffle foam from within the fuel tank been taken out. So they're deep down inside that tank. It has to be pretty serious for them to need to go inside there, inside that fuel tank on that Porsche. There's all the fuel pumps, so the low pressure pumps, the high pressure pumps, the aluminium collector with the level sensor in it, but to actually spend the time going down inside the tank has to be something fairly fundamental. And the fact that it got back to the pits, it wouldn't suggest it's a high pressure pump issue. So let's see what comes of that. I dare say that's where I should be going in about 6 minutes' time.
The 51 car rejoins 51 Ferrari back into the race. As I say, it wasn't third place with Jimmy Bruni. I think Bruni stayed in the car. Indeed, he did. And he rejoins. And it's still very, very close. Stefan Macher in the Aston, Oliver Gavin in the Chevrolet, Gianmaria Bruni in the Ferrari, and Fred Makovici is next up in the Porsche in that class. And it's really those four, a representative of each of the manufacturers, who are going to slug it out for the next 12 hours. Is it 12 hours? We're coming up to... no, we're not even halfway, of course not.
So that's the Aston that's not running. The car that got damaged quite heavily on Wednesday night. Fernando Reis having a quite a large off in that car.
Yes.
The decision being not to deplete the spares and tire the team to try and repair it. Could probably have been done, but I think probably the wise choice there could be a race of attrition.
Now, Oliver Turvey setting quick times in the Zytek number 38. The Jota car is currently 12th overall. And where is he in class? He's now fifth in class.
Riding on, we're going to hear the radio here from Jan Mardenborough. So that's Jan Mardenborough confirming he's coming in, fuel only, so this is going to be a quadruple stint for Jan as well. There is no end to that boy's talents, is there? He is a machine.
Yeah, well, he's, as you say, leading the class in 7th place overall.
Another fastest first sector.
Yeah.
He just keeps bringing it down and down and down.
He's really done a good job. Yeah, so we're just coming up to 9 hours completed. So still 15 to go. That's a long, long way still to go.
And still Alex Wirtz leading. That gap just doesn't seem to really change. Wirtz goes 27.7, Faster's last 31.8. So it's ebbing and flowing with the traffic. You know, we've heard Lena talking about how they're quicker and trying to really encourage Marcel to push on. But in fact, I think it all comes down to who hits the traffic where, and there's actually not a lot in it. So Jan Mardenborough coming past us into the pits. He's absolutely on it, even to the pit line. Oh, heavy lock up there as he came in. If he's going to be keeping those on, he doesn't want to be doing that. And as we know, he's keeping those on, fuel only. So he's now going to duck in to the right, into the Oak Racing area. We still don't know what happened to that 26 car. We just know it's missing, which is the sister G-Drive car, but that's the Morgan rather than another Ligier.
So there we are, the class leader in the pits. Is there going to be a driver change? It doesn't look as though there is, actually. It looks as though he's going to stay in the car.
Jan in the car and just fuel, so fuel and a drink.
That's all he gets.
That is all he gets.
Quick change to the minibar. And he's back out again. Poor chap, doesn't get much of a rest. But he'll be delighted with that performance. He's done really, really well. With Jan Mardenborough rejoining and probably staying in the lead of the class, actually, I think, probably. And at the same time, we're going to have change of driver and change of presenter as well, with Julian Porter and Peter Dumbreck taking over for a long stint while we go off for a little bit of shut-eye.
Morgan et Sam numéro 29 du Pegasus Racing dans le sens le plus loin. 30 ans, c'est magique ça. Et en plus, il parlait des... course.
Welcome back to the coverage of the 82nd running of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, just after midnight, 4 minutes past midnight, 14 hours and 56 minutes of the race to run. And it's the Toyota still in the lead. Alex Wirtz on a big stint and going really well. But as we look down, cars in the pit lane, the 77 car.
That's the Pat Long Dempsey racing car. Obviously a long stop there. Ah, is this the penalty? This is the penalty.
The 3 minutes, wasn't it, for wheel spin?
That's right.
I think it's a bit harsh.
That's the funny thing, because in America, in the championship there, you're allowed to spin the wheels, but in Europe, at Le Mans, you're not allowed to spin the wheels as you leave the pit lane. And obviously they've got caught out with it.
I'm going to ask something. Is that an easy thing to do, is spin the wheels, or do you have to really kind of think about it, about trying to kind of make sure you keep yourself calm leaving the pit lane?
When you're in a rush to get out of the pits and you know it's going well and you're pushing to get out, it can be quite easy to spin the wheels. You just give it a bit of extra throttle, dump the clutch, and the wheels spin, and that's what you do in the States. But obviously you've got to feed it in gently here. It's a safety issue. They don't want the cars fishtailing out of the pit lane with all the people around.
Okay, right, so Wirtz, Fassler, Genet are our top three. Webber is in fourth on the end of a 4-run stint as our fourth place guy, and Yanni our fifth place guy. Obviously, since we've last come in here, Peter, it's all dark. Bright enough in our commentary box, and we've got supplies to kind of keep us awake. 6 hours is what we're up to. Driver-wise, I mean, we saw just before we came in Tom Christensen getting himself ready, kind of like psyching himself up in the garage. It obviously is more difficult in the dark because you don't have that extra vision and things like that. But once you get in the zone, is it you don't feel any tireder because it's dark?
Not really, no. You're so pumped up anyway. Really, it's a case of you kind of know if you just trust yourself, you know where the track's going, you know everything about it. You've already done, most drivers anyway, before it gets dark, you've done a couple of hours in the car, so it's a case of just doing exactly what you did in the daytime. The track is faster, it's rubbered in. So that's a message
to Lapierre. Are you okay for a fourth stint?
So, yep, everyone's pushing the limit now. They're trying to do the 4 stints on the tyres. Just asking if the driver's capable. That's just, it's almost like a rhetorical question. You will be doing 4 stints. Yep, okay, no problem. I'll do the 4th stint. So it was all planned anyway, and it's just to check to see that the driver's okay. But as I say, you know, it's not a real big job to drive in the dark as far as knowing where the track's going and everything. You've obviously driven a lot of laps of it already. It's just a case of dealing with the traffic and coming across GT cars who won't necessarily know how close you are, because when you're the bright lights of the P1 car come behind you, it's difficult to anticipate how close they are sometimes until they're actually right on you and beside you. So that's kind of the most difficult thing about it. The track is actually quicker. the air is cooler, so the engines are stronger, and as I was saying earlier on, as it begins to get light again and you've got that just that extra little bit of vision to help you, then you can set the fastest lap times. So I would think towards the end of our stint in here, in about 5-6 hours time, we should see some mega quick lap times as it gets light, providing it stays dry, and yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, they won't want any rain now. You never really want any rain, but you won't want it in the dark, that's for sure, because just the spray in the dark is so much more difficult to see. But it's been pretty calm and collected in the 3 hours we've been away. Not a lot of change in position yet. The 14 Porsche kind of making its way up the order a couple of places after that delay. Still the laps behind, but position-wise making its way. But a great battle that we've been watching when we've been in the truck for the Pro GT category, and it's 14 seconds now. But where did we think? We thought there was actually 3 of them at about 7 or 8 seconds apart. So someone's obviously dropped into the pits.
I think the Chevys pitted recently, the Corvette. So Milner's in the car again. He must have pitted recently. So I think probably Muka in the Aston is due for a pit stop pretty soon. This is a 73 on board.
Yeah, Garcia in that car now. Yeah, because when we left the truck only about 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago, you were commenting that, oh, no, there's only 3 of them about 7 or 8 seconds apart. So.
Ollie Gavin was in the lead. Muka, I think there was very close between the 2 of them. And Milner's now in the lead in the car now, so and he's in 3rd. So I think strategy-wise, pit stop-wise, I think probably the Aston's due for a stop quite soon, and Bruni in the Ferrari possibly as well. So it's still a very close fight between all of them.
And what the drivers can't see is the amount of fans that are still around. We noticed it as we were walking down, and opposite our commentary box, loads and loads of fans out watching, walking backwards and forwards to different vantage points. There is something quite special about this place in the dark.
Yeah, I mean, it's still relatively warm out there as well, so a lot of people out and about, a lot of shows and things, the big wheel and the various shows to go on, as well as the obvious racing to watch, and the noise of the place. It's obviously very noisy out there, and it's good to hear some of the big engine cars like the Corvette and the Aston coming by.
Okay, the 36 car in the pits.
So that's the 2nd place. Panasyatia.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of a clean the mirrors.
Yeah, I know a lot of the drivers, but there's some I don't know, and pronunciation of some of them, I must admit, I'm not that up to date with some of the pronunciations.
14 car going past, staring straight out. Fresh Dunlops on the car there.
Yeah, Dunlop's a big supporter of P2. Most of the cars run on Dunlops. Michelin don't really go in for the P2 category. Michelin are the big supporter of P1 category, so you find all the top cars running Michelins, and then Michelin in the Pro GT and GT-AM as well. So Dunlop kind of have the market in P2.
So we saw as well when we were watching in the break some mistakes from the Porsche drivers straight on, and same corner, different drivers. Look at the moon. Wow. Same corner, straight on, different drivers, but not sure. We've seen lots of cutaways in the Porsche pit area of the mechanics having a bit of a chat and things. Unsure, trying to find some information out, but maybe some small brake issues or something for those cars, or it could be as simple as that, getting to know the braking points now they're into the dark.
Yeah, I think you got to remember this Porsche P1 car. It's still relatively new compared to Audi and compared to the Toyota, and this is the longest race they've done so far. You know, they've done 6 hours of Silverstone, 6 hours of Spa. So happy birthday, Dad. So you know, it's difficult for them to really. They're into unknown territory. Of course, they've done long tests, etc. But this is a race situation now, and they're pushing the car to the limit, and the drivers are pushing to the limit. And yeah, they're finding that there's potentially a few little gremlins in the car that they need to iron out, and the ultimate pace isn't quite there against the Toyota and the Audi now, whereas earlier in the race it was.
24 car, the Sarthe Loeb racing car coming into the pits. Yeah, I mean, they've probably done 24 hours in testing. I think Audi have done 2 24-hour runs in a test, which it's quite amazing when you start to think that they can run that kind of. They do that just as a test, not just when you're getting ready for just the actual event. Put all that resource into doing 2 24-hour runs, but suppose you've got to do it, haven't you? And it's
well, you do, and actually you tend to do more than 24 hours. You tend to try to take it up to 30 hours just to go beyond what you're going to do in the race.
Make sure it's going to last.
When I was with Mercedes in 1999, we actually did three 30-hour tests before Le Mans, and Le Mans didn't last all that long for us. So you know, we've done all that preparation, and it still can go wrong. So you've got to kind of tick all the boxes. You're going to do whatever you can. You're going to life all the components of the car, and give the drivers a chance as well to really get up to speed. So you've got the 92 on board with a 92 Porsche now, sitting in 4th place with Makovici. Fred was part of the Aston team last year that I was part of as well, and very fast driver, joined Porsche this year. Perhaps at the moment Stefan Mucke is leading in the Aston, so again, fantastic battle between Aston, Ferrari, Porsche and Corvette, and at the moment still anyone's race.
It's 12.9 seconds between the 97 and the 51 cars. The 92 car down the pit lane. That is our 4th place car in that category. Now, when we were in our break, we whizzed around the pits and the paddock, and your friend, teammate in the 47 car, unfortunately, you went to see him thinking he was getting in the car. We're discovering he was getting out of the car after retiring. Transmission issues, I think, after, I don't know if he'd been off before then or something, but...
Yeah, they'd had some issues. Alex Imperatori in the 47 car, the P2 car. They'd had a couple of little offs earlier on in the race, and were kind of fighting their way back up, but in the end it's not to be in the car. They had a diff problem and they went off in the Porsche cars, and I think that's the end of the race for them. So yeah, it's a tough end. I think how many cars we've got out? Probably about 7 or 8 cars out now. So actually we're not doing too badly, but there's the obvious people that lose out, and you know, it's tough when the race is over for you and you're all geared up to go for the 24 hours, and then you're out, and you don't know what to do with yourself. And I've been in that situation myself, and quite frankly I get in the car and I drive home. So it's a tough thing, because you know, as I said, you've spent a week here, you're all geared up, you're ready for it, and you know when you're getting in and out of the car, and you've got all your schedule planned, and then it's over, and you know, it just feels so hollow, and you don't know what to do with yourself, and you don't want to just hang around. You just want to get going and you know, move your thoughts onto the next race.
I mean, when you look at the car there from the in-car camera, you're saying it's a really bad vibration, but the car still looks as smooth as anything.
Well, what we need
feeling it's through the steering wheel.
Well, you need to see it at high speed first. You need to see it on the back straight, but that's obviously not a good thing, because he's feeling that through the car. He's feeling it. Possibly it's a tyre issue. He might have pickup on the tyre. If it's something as simple as that, then it's nothing to worry about. But if it's worse than that and he's got a problem in the car, they've got to find it quite quickly and figure out what to do.
A minute and 47 is the gap now. That has been not many changes, as we said, in overall position, but the number 2 Audi did drop over the last 3 hours, a few seconds to the number 7 Toyota. So we're onto the high speed here. I mean, let's see if we can kind of see anything. It's a P2 car, just going to pick up a little bit of slipstream and just pop out.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it moving, but I think that's just the bumps. Yeah, as you say, you know, unless you're in the car and you can feel the steering wheel and feel the vibration through it, then it's hard to know what it is. And as I say, you know, the most obvious thing is, has he run offline and picked up rubber on the tyre? And is that the vibration?
But the team obviously picked up on something for them to ask the question of, I mean, let's look at his times. I mean, his times aren't showing us anything. He was quicker on the last lap. Yeah, not by much, but by enough. He was quicker. So
yeah, as you say, you know,
there's obviously a message come from somewhere, hasn't there, to say that he's not so happy with the car. A 3:29.794 to a 3:30.469.
Have we got one of the lead Astons coming in now? So it's the 95 car, so second place in GTM with Nicky Team on board.
This is the whole
Danish car,
yeah.
yep. So they're having a driver change now. Is this Poulsen? Poulsen's getting in the car now. Car running looked very well for them so far. Aston 1 and 2 in GTM. Yep. And of course, running first place with Stefan Mucke in GT Pro as well. So
they've got all bases covered there at the moment.
So far, so good. Yeah.
Yeah, Pedro Lamy leading the AM category.
Interestingly, Pedro's made 2 less stops, 2 fewer stops than the 95 there. So obviously during the rain showers, etc., they were on slightly different strategies.
Again, that was something we mentioned earlier on. Driver comfort, driver feeling, being able to be prepared to stay out in those wet conditions. Toyota radio, sorry. Another positive message back into the car. Just keep going, just keep going. You're doing the great job, pulling away.
But the last 2 laps have actually been fairly similar, so he must have made a chunk of time before, but actually they've both just done a 3:30 the last lap. Again, the top 4 cars, very little between them time-wise around a lap of the track. Toyota 7 just coming into Arnage now. Couple of cars in front, try and get past the first one before the Porsche curves. Good indication. He's going to catch the second car somewhere in the Porsche curves, so he's going to have to go and pass him around the outside probably. Yellow flag at Marshall's post 60, which is the second chicane, so someone's gone off at the second chicane.
That must have just been behind Wirtz, because it wasn't so far away when that popped up. And wait to see if they... current fastest lap is Wirtz, 3:23.112 on lap 4. And that's, you're reckoning that if it's going to go, it's going to go in the next few hours, if the quickest lap's going to go. Car 7 just coming out of last chicane on its way. 34. Which has been a contender in the P2 category, just coming into the pits. And it's still in second place, that car.
Driven by Frank Malheur. Mardenborough just set his fastest lap of the race, 3:39.3. So the conditions have come nicely for him, and he's been in, well, he's in his 4th stint in the car now.
Yeah.
So he's
right in the zone.
Properly on it. But car 46 has been reported for speeding in the pit lane, so there's going to be a penalty coming his way. That's the 3rd place Ligier in P2.
Yeah. Let's hope it's not as strong as wheel spinning in the pits. That's quite a big penalty. So let's see. Car 46, you say, reported to the stewards for speeding in the pit lane.
Well, normally there's a bit of a sliding scale, if you like, where the first thing you do wrong, maybe a slightly smaller penalty, but a 3-minute penalty sounds like they've already had a penalty before. They're just racking them up.
They've upset somebody somewhere, haven't they? It's not a lap, it's nearly a lap. It's 3/4 of a lap in one of those cars. So it is a big punishment.
Pretty harsh.
Cars coming down, pit road 27 being one of them. The thing I like about being in the dark and watching them is you got the door numbers are lit up, but then the Ferraris, the AF Ferraris have like strip lights, like the boy racers would have on the A pillars of the cars. Obviously different colors for different drivers, so the pit crew on the pit wall can notice and identify their car coming through the final chicane and towards him.
Got another P2 car, the SMP car.
That's the Mikasaro car. That was the one that was in the wall right at the end of warm-up.
Yep, that's right.
Yesterday now.
Apparently they had a puncture, and that was the reason that it went off. Team radio.
Okay, so potentially, as you said, maybe pick up on the tyre or something.
I think that confirms that there was nothing wrong with the car. It was just the tyre, and he just might have run, when he was passing another car or whatever, ran around the outside and picked up some rubber on the tyre, which, and especially in this cooler temperature, it takes a while to get it back off the tyre again. It gets really stuck on there. So you obviously pick up a vibration from that, and you do start panicking. You worry that something's wrong with the car until you really get rid of that. Yeah, Marcel, obviously his times are back down to a sensible number. He's just in a 3:27, but versus pulled in 3:26, so the Toyota's still eking out a little bit of a gap on the Audi number 2. Bit of a slide out of that corner, Mulsanne corner. Coming down the back straight. A long drag down to Indianapolis. The Audi guy is trying to get a bit of rest. I think that's probably Lutter under that hat. Yeah.
After his stint earlier on in the race, he deserves a sleep. He was pretty spectacular, I tell you. I mean, you look at it, as you say, Wirtz, he's got the fastest lap, a 3:23.112. He's just done a 3:26, so 3.4 seconds off in the dark. And there's not a lot of difference really in that, is there? I mean, considering the visibility is just zero with the dark.
Well, again, going back to the lights, we've got an onboard now with Audi number 2, and you can see he's got pretty good lights. So the technology on that car is pretty advanced, and actually the newer P1 cars, you've got pretty good vision. I suppose it's a peripheral that maybe you don't see so well, but all in all, if you just trust it. So Webber, after his 4th stint, is going to have a driver change. Is that Timo Bernhard? Who is that going in the car? I think it was Timo Bernard going in the car there. So
yeah, because Mark took over from Brent. It's Timo on the Hans device.
So Timo no doubt will be in for a quadruple stint now as well. Give the other guys a chance to rest.
Listening to that, the braking and the acceleration, it's a 24-hour race, but for them it's every lap. It's just flat out, as late as they can on the brakes, heavy on the acceleration. The days when this was kind of like we've got 24 hours to go are a long, long way away, aren't they? It is
nursing
flat
the
out.
car around. Yeah, you just don't do that anymore. Is that the numbers on the back of Tom's helmet
How
there?
many times
The years that he's won the race. I suppose you can do that when you've won it that many times, can't you?
He's having to write them quite small because he's running out of space on his crash helmet. He keeps winning. I mean, they have got an uphill struggle at the moment. 2 minutes 54 down on the lead. They do have a struggle at the moment, but.
Timo looks cool. He's ready for this. Again, another former winner, so he knows how to do it. So it looks like both Audis are going to be stopping pretty soon. Sorry, the Porsche and the Audi will be stopping almost within a lap of each other. Yeah.
Well, here's Mark down the pit road. There he is in our vision now, past the Ferris wheel. Pit lane.
Interestingly, Timo, when he did win Le Mans, he won it in the Audi. So he's always been a Porsche factory driver. Porsche loaned him out to Audi. They won, and now Porsche have taken him back again.
Yeah.
So it's a funny situation. Weber straight out of the car. He looked to be okay. Very fit guy, Weber.
Yeah.
Used to train with him when we were at Mercedes together. I think he's kept up his fitness. He does a lot of cycling, and he's got his own Tasmanian challenge where he goes and does a lot of fitness down there. So, yeah, I think very strong, very fit.
Flat on the back.
Yeah, I mean, as we were saying, that's his first. I think it might even be his first race lap ever, and he's straight into quadruple stint. Brendan Hartley there as well, giving him a pat on the back, because he didn't drive in '99 on a race lap, and '98 I know his car went out quite early on, and I think Bernd Schneider was driving it, so he might never have done a race lap round here. I'll have to ask him when I see him.
Okay, so that is the screen at the minute. Will update once Timo goes past a board and a register. So I think you'd have enjoyed that.
I think, you know, it's not a case that you don't you take it all in afterwards. He's just trying to talk through the car and the obvious issues.
He's had he had that overshoot, didn't he? So maybe they're asking because the other car had an overshoot as well. So are they trying to?
Yeah. So you can see he's talking about how the car. It looks like he's saying it's lazy and it's leaning over and it's pitching into the corners. So he's not quite so happy with the handling of the car.